Okay, second video diary. So this upcoming Wednesday, June 2nd, I will be going in to do an ultrasound on my breast to see if we're going to do anything about the cysts that are in my breast. The following Wednesday, June 9th, I'll do a CT scan to have a better image of the cysts that are in my my ovary, on my ovary, and see about getting surgery scheduled to get it removed. But, so everybody just keep me in prayer for that. But I want to talk to you today about something that God put on my heart. I have Mark chapter 5, starting with verse 25, opened up, and it's a story that I can really relate to, and I'll go more into that afterwards. But from the King James Version, and a certain woman which had an issue of blood 12 years, and had suffered many things of many physicians, and had spent all that she had, it was nothing better, but rather grew worse. That sounds a lot like myself. Then she had heard of Jesus, came in the press behind him, and touched his garment. For she said, If I may touch but his clothes, I shall be whole. And straightway the fountain of her blood was dried up, and she felt in her body that she was healed of that plague. And Jesus, immediately knowing in himself that virtue had gone out of him, turned about in the press, and said, Who touched my clothes? And his disciples said unto him, Thou seest the multitude thronging around thee, and sayest thou, Who touched me? And he looked around about to see her that had done this thing. But the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what was done in her, came and fell down before him, and told him all the truth. And he said unto her, Daughter, thy faith hath made thee whole. Go in peace, and be whole of thy plague. While he yet spoke, that's it. So that was Mark chapter 5, verses 25 through 34. And the reason why I can relate to this is because I have been suffering from endometriosis for the past 15 years. In case you don't know what endometriosis is, it is a chronic health condition, and it happens to your body naturally in a way. So every month when you have your natural cycle for your period, your uterus thickens in its wall, and when the egg drops down during that a certain time period in your monthly cycle, it can, once you become pregnant, it can attach to that thickened wall, and that thickened wall gives the egg nourishment for life. But when that pregnancy doesn't happen, then the thickened wall is supposed to slough off and flow out with the rest of your monthly cycle. But with endometriosis, that sloughing doesn't happen. It just keeps building up and building up and building up. And in my case, it built up so much that it caused my left ovary to have large cysts. And 10 years ago, I had my left ovary removed, as well as a large cyst, which is about the size of a basketball, so they tell me. And also my appendix was removed, only because for medical precautions, nothing else. And so this year, no, I'm going too far ahead. Okay, so I went and got married and try to have children as quickly as possible, but children just wasn't in my cards, unfortunately. I never had a child. I always wanted children. I've been praying for children since I was 9 years old, but unfortunately it just wasn't given to me. And that's fine. That's just how it is. And then me and my husband were having some difficulties between the two of us, so we decided to separate. And recently, this past April, we had gotten our divorce finalized. So that's done. That relationship is over with. But since February, I've been having 2 periods every month, which is absolutely not normal. And I finally had a doctor who would listen to me, and they gave me an ultrasound on my abdominal and found that I have very large cyst on my right ovary now. So no left ovary, and more than likely will have surgery to have the right ovary removed. There's no sense of keeping the uterus, so might as well do a whole full hysterectomy and just be done with it. So I will finally be healed of endometriosis by having it all cut out. It's just sad to say, but that's just how it is. And then now this breast thing has come up. I asked for a mammogram, and they finally listened to me. You know how doctors are. They finally listened to me, and they finally gave me a mammogram. I found multiple cysts in both breasts, and I'm going in for an ultrasound to find out exactly what's going on in there and what they want to do about it. I don't know what they want to do about it yet, so well, that's still an adventure to come. Yay. But I knew I had cysts because I had developed them when I was 16 years old. So I knew that they were in there. I just haven't been a very good steward of my body and keeping up on checking up on them. But so we'll see what happens with that next. And it just because I don't have any uterus or ovaries or possibly no breast doesn't mean that I'm not still a woman. Doesn't mean I've been sinful in the eyes of the Lord. It doesn't mean that God doesn't still love me. It just means I'm going to be healed in a different way than I thought. That's it. And I completely agree with the lady who had issues with bleeding. Doctors don't know what they're talking about majority of the time. And they don't listen to you. They don't. You kind of have to plunk it over their heads and say, yo, this is not right. Something's going on. I need your help to find out what's going on. Please help me. And they don't know anything anyway. They think they do, but they don't know nothing. And then, but I want to I know that I'm going through a Job-like testing. I've lost majority of my possessions. I currently am living with a member of my congregation. Well, not my personal congregation, but a fellow member of my congregation. And I lost majority of everything that I owned. And I'm slowly building it back up, but it's still going to take time, going to take money. But that's not what I'm talking to you about. I'm talking about the fact that just because I don't have my stuff doesn't mean God has left me. Just because I'm having medical issues doesn't mean I'm not a favorite child of God. Hello? I am. I know I am. And I know that I'm going to get through this testing. And I know that I'm going to be stronger when I'm finally done. And I know that I'm going to be a powerful woman of God. And there ain't nothing going to stop me. Because when I have God in me, there's absolutely nothing that can stop me. No weapons can be formed against me. So saith the Lord. There's absolutely nothing the devil can do. There's absolutely nothing anybody can do to come up against me, because God is on my side. And he always will be. And I'm finally going to be healed of endometriosis, which is a very painful chronic illness that you suffer from every month. And I'm okay with that. It may be a surgical healing instead of a miraculous healing, but I'm still going to get healed one way or another. That's all I gotta say. I hope these diaries will help someone to see that God is still with you. Whether you think he is or not, God is still with you. So may you be blessed in the Lord, and be encouraged, and have heart, and know that you are loved no matter what. Have a good day.